No, it doesn't even deserve an intro, these speakers. I don't like them. I don't like them because they sound way worse than they should for the price tag. So we're not even going to give them an introduction. Let's just start off with why I don't like them. Number one, there's no Bluetooth. They are literally just line in, 1 and 2. As far as I know, I've cycled through the inputs, it didn't do anything, okay? The second thing I don't like about them is that they don't sound good. They don't sound good. So it's a 3.5-inch driver, a 1-inch dome tweeter. They look good. I like the way that they're designed. The ridges around it is a cool touch. I do like the carbon fiber grill, or excuse me, the cone that it's made out of. Very cool. But this is like $299 for this color. I think it's another 30 or 40 bucks for a different color or whatever. It's $300. So despite it looking good, it needs to sound halfway decent too, and halfway decent is the best that I can say about it. It doesn't sound pretty good, and there's things like Kanto or just any other powered speaker out there for the price tag will probably beat these. Let's play a song for you guys. Unfortunately, I have to reach over because I am tethered to the speaker. I'm wired to it via my phone. Let me just play some demos for you guys so you can hear what's going on. So, it's not a terrible speaker. I mean, it can't be at $300. There's some good to it. I do like the tweeter. It does sound really good. It's not at all harsh. It's soft dome tweeter, and soft is probably the word I would use to describe the sound of the tweeter. Soft, not too harsh. There are no treble controls on these speakers. There's bass control. There's a bass knob between 0 or +8. You cannot take away bass. You aren't going to want to anyway with this small speaker. You can only add to it. But adding to the bass, if you add too much, it makes the sound worse. They're small speakers with a very small port on the back. And at any kind of moderate volume and a little bit of bass, you get this port chuffing and vibration of the cabinet. It starts to lose all sorts of control. It's not fun. But if you keep the bass around 0 or even maybe +2, +3, not a bad sound overall. But for the price tag, there are tons of other things that you can get that will sound better and are bigger, so they'll play lower. So I'm kind of upset about that. I'm still upset that I'm not Bluetooth right now. Let's play a different song. So when you turn up the bass, what you're doing is really just adding a little bit more mid-range to it. And depending on how much you turn it up, it does actually start to sound rather nice. Songs like this, right? Things that aren't too involved. My issue, again, is when you start reaching a higher volume level, it just sounds like a $100 speaker now. It doesn't sound like the $300 you spent. And that's kind of where my complaint comes from. It's not that it sounds absolutely terrible, but for the price tag, it doesn't match up to what the money you spent. And I can't recommend these only because there are other things out there for the price tag that will beat this. You can go passive speakers and get your own amplifier and spend the same money and probably have a much better sound versus this kit right here. Or there's other powered speakers that have Bluetooth, auxiliary, sub out, treble and bass controls. And get this, there's no remote. So all my controls are on the back of the main speaker, the right speaker. You can change the input, you can change the volume, you can change the bass level, you can change the RGBs that are underneath it, but you have to touch it. You have to reach behind it and mess with it from there. So you have to turn the speaker around, make your adjustments, and turn it back if you want to do anything. That's where I think it's lacking. It's kind of behind times. Yes, Bluetooth isn't everything, and Bluetooth doesn't give you the best audio quality. RCA's, how I'm tethered, is probably a better audio quality than Bluetooth, but it's all about the option and the convenience of it, especially when you're spending this money that I don't have. So, hard to recommend. I don't think that it sounds terrible. Again, the tweeter really carries. I like the light wispy sound that it has. It does play pretty loud. It's only a 30 watt woofer and then like a 10 watt tweeter for a total of 40 watts for each speaker. It does actually play pretty loud. Mind you, I'm not in a huge room. I'm not very far from the speakers, but it does get pretty loud. We can try to play something else. Sometimes you can get lucky and find a song that actually sounds pretty good, and this is one of those songs. Kind of like a lo-fi cafe type of vibe. These speakers seem to do pretty good. Acoustic music, piano, things like that sound actually not half bad. But overall scheme of things, again, I just can't get past the fact that they're $300 and you can't tell through the sound of it all, and they're speakers. That's why you spend this kind of money, is to get a certain level of audio. You don't get that with these. It does help that I'm tethered to it, so I'm getting a clean signal. So it does give me the best out of these speakers, and they're not bad for monitors. They are powered speakers made to be near field on your desk, and so it's not a bad application for this, but they're just way too many things, JBL, Kanto, things like that can do way better than these can. They're bigger, they have more functionality, and they're about the same darn price. So it's hard. That's why it's hard to vouch for these. I don't hate the sound. I shouldn't say that I did if I did in the beginning of the video. I don't hate the sound. There are some really nice qualities, like the mid-range bass. If you don't turn the bass up too high, if you found a sweet spot, it actually does sound pretty blissful. And I'm a big fan of the tweeter that they're using in here. It does complement that little driver pretty well. I was nervous not having treble controls, because if I can control my bass but can't control anything else, then we're going to get into some boomy territory, and you can. But if you get that dial right, you can kind of blend it a little bit to where you can still reach a high volume without a lot of distortion. It's not terrible. Do I recommend these? Not first, second, third, or fifth, but they aren't terrible. So if you're looking at these, just kind of look around the market and see what else is out there. Make sure that you do your research, because there are things that are better than this, but they're not terrible by any means. But anyway, if you haven't seen the unboxing, go back and watch that video. We did go more in depth about the features of it. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the sound demo. Let me know what you think about these speakers in general. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already, and we will see you in the next video. Cape Bass Guy out. Peace.